says we have an excellent connection. Okay, you have a picture. You're live.
All right. Hello, everybody.
Good morning. How's everybody today?
Sounds about right. Let me find my pencil. And it's just going to roll right off.
Drayden's World says hello.
Hello.
Mr. Somebody says hi, Scott.
Hello.
CV says hi, and Dreamin says hello. Just lots of highs and hellos. Bethany's here. Gail says wacky watercolor Wednesday. How are you two doing today?
We're doing good, thank you.
Ryan says, hey, good morning, all you beautiful art friends.
Hello.
We've got highs and hellos. Hey, Scott, I love you so much. Your art is wonderful.
Oh, thank you. I love you too.
Namita says, good evening, sir. Love from India. Oh, wow. Blick is early and says, good morning, everyone.
Hey, Blick.
Good morning.
I got this tiny little sketchbook, or this tiny little Arches watercolor block from Blick, and I'm trying it for the first time.
They want to know what paper and pencil before we get going.
This is Arches watercolor block, and I'm using my Faber-Castell 4H pencil and a Derwent pencil extender. And it's okay. It's gonna be very, very light because that way I don't get the pencil. In other words, I can erase the pencil easily. But can you guys see the pencil lines at all?
A little bit, very little bit. It's hard to see. The darker ones that you're shading in now we can see, but the other ones are just too light to see.
Okay.
Yeah. Hi from the UK. Soroja says good morning. Hello, Savas. I just did my first super basic watercolor flowers this weekend. Thank you for making it feel accessible. That's HJ.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Zainab says hello. Hey from Pakistan.
Hello.
James says hey from Australia. Your art inspires me a lot.
Oh, thank you.
Hello from the Netherlands. Good evening from India. Steph Nerd's
Good
here.
evening.
Let's see.
Oh, speaking of Netherlands, Norway, right?
Norway. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to be doing a live tomorrow morning, 2 hours earlier than normal, because I'll be doing it with Kim Diaz home, and we'll be doing Ink Monsters.
Yeah. I don't know if you want help with that or not.
We'll see.
Good morning. Lots of good mornings.
Good morning.
First time seeing you live. A good day to you all. Hope you're doing well. First time watching your lives.
Well, hello. I'm trying to do a really quick drawing. So this is a teeny tiny little Arches. I guess you guys can look at it this way. Arches watercolor paper, or Arches watercolor block, right? It is 10 centimeters by 25 centimeters, or 3.9 inches by 9.8 inches. It is just a little bigger than the hair journal prints. So it is really small. I've been wanting to do it because I like the aspect ratio. I like this thin aspect ratio, but it is so small that I've been kind of avoiding it. I also bought, for reference,
Blick says the scritchy noise is wonderful.
I bought this one which is 6 inches by 10 inches. So you can see it's about the same height, but it's a little thicker. And then I also got this one, which is almost 6 inches by 12 inches. But this is the nice thin ratio. I just kind of wish they had this at like 2 or 3 times the size. It'd be really kind of fun. But you can always just cut paper, which is what I usually do.
Hello again. What should I draw on the first page of the travel journal sketchbook? Do you have any ideas that aren't the same as you do on the first page?
Sorry. Maybe try, if it's a travel journal, maybe draw something that from home that makes you feel happy. Could be a pot of tea or one of your favorite windows or something like that, or your favorite toy. And that'll be something that always reminds you of home whenever you're out and about. Sorry, I'm just cleaning my glasses.
You should start a hair tutorial.
I've done a couple shorts with that.
Winter Cat says, hi, your art is amazing. I've learned so much from you. Also, good morning.
Oh, thank you. Good morning.
Dorothy says, good morning. I'm working on my first ever travel journal page.
I hope you have a wonderful time doing it. I think we'll make these ears a little longer.
Isabel says, hi, I think you're so cool. This is my first live with you and I'm excited.
Thank you, Isabel. Do people always ask you what you doing?
I don't know that they would know that. I love your art. You're the best, but I got to go to school. Bye.
Oh, bye.
I'm going to buy your puzzles very soon.
Oh, thank you.
This is so fitting. I'm working on a costume right now to go to the Ren Fair on Saturday.
Oh, have fun. I had a really fun time sketching the fairies at our Ren Fair 2 weeks ago. I'm trying to get whatever the schmutz from, I think it came from.
Can you show the size of this again? Can you?
Yeah, it is. It's really tiny. 3.9 inches by 9.8 inches.
And it's 300 GSM, 140 pound.
Yeah, it's pure cotton. Arches is the best paper. I still prefer the Be Creative sketchbook better. I just like that this is a little too bumpy for me. But that said, Arches is definitely the best paper I've ever encountered. All right, so let's figure out what we're going to do with the hair.
Do you recommend any watercolors for under $30?
Yeah, if they were in stock, I would say the Mia watercolors that I tried last week. But they're out of stock. But if you could find those are $25 or $20, and you get a lot for that.
Scott's favorite watercolor brand is Winsor & Newton. They want to see your photo reference.
Yeah.
Good afternoon from Catalonia. Time Warrior says, hey, where's Perry?
Yeah. So I just like that look. And because she's clean shaven, I can figure out whatever I want to do with the hair.
There's a video on Writer's Block in the Art Hacks playlist. Unknown says, good evening from Moscow.
Good evening.
Scott, could you give me the most random thing to draw? That's Trasman.
A Toyota Tacoma.
Have you tried Tears of the Kingdom yet?
Oh yes, I've been playing it since it came out.
It is nighttime in India. They want you to know. Stefan says, Phineas and Ferb. Yes. Happy Fantasy Wednesday. Excited for summer break and SBC time, says Joy. Joy's back.
Hi, Joy.
What was life like before you started YouTube?
I was making animated movies, so that was pretty fun. And then before that, I was doing a webcomic called The Dreamland Chronicles, which I really liked. And then before that, I did Spider-Man. And before that, I worked in animation. I worked on the Casper movies and Power Rangers. And then before that, I did video games.
Lily Check is up and baking this morning and then going to work on some art.
I love it.
CR21 says hi from the UK. I've been watercolor painting today for my final piece as part of my life drawing class. You've been a big inspiration. Thanks for making art exciting.
Thank you. I'm trying to figure out her hairline.
Exits here says, good morning, Scott. Wanted to ask if you've ever seen a sketchbook that has a shape other than a rectangle or a square, maybe like a circle or a star.
No, I've never seen that.
What is your biggest sketchbook?
My biggest sketchbook is probably this one, which is 28 by 35 centimeters or 11 by 14. This one I usually do like my thumbnails and stuff in.
I love your work in puzzles from Singapore.
Oh, thank you.
I think we have an Ellen here with us today. Yep, Ellen says, good morning, coffee time. How did your show end up now that it's over? How did it go? Tell us a story. This person says, hello, how are you doing? I just wanted to say your videos always make me happy.
Oh, thank you.
What were you going to say?
No, I'm just trying to find a way to have the hair not just look like a widow's peak kind of thing. So I'm just kind of just maybe have it flow this way. So the way I look at hair is it's kind of like directing water and the flow of it. So now I'm saying, okay, it's going to come up from her scalp, then it's going to flow back down here, and then you want the lines to be smooth. And that's kind of that whole Art Nouveau kind of thing, is that smooth kind of transition, no angles.
Let's see. Katie wants to know how you post art on the Discord server.
Um,
Can one of the mods, can you guys answer Katie, Kayt? Can you let her know how to do that, or them know how to do that? Sorry. Bethany did. Sorry about that. I missed that comment.
Let's give her a middle part. What do you guys think? Middle part? So the hair kind of goes up and out like that. Would that be interesting?
On that notebooks that come in different sizes or different shapes, you can find them, but they're not good paper. They do have them. You find them someplace like Michael's has them, but they're in the cheap paper section. They're not in the sketchbook paper section, and they certainly wouldn't be something with like watercolors and things like that. Where and how do you store all of your supplies?
There is a video on the art supplies in the Hobbit hole, and that shows you where everything is stored and how I store it, and it'll be much more interesting than me just telling you.
Which celeb should I draw? That's Lohit.
Zendaya.
Holden Draws says, hi Scott, I just wanted to say you are a big inspiration to me in many ways. I'm a young artist looking to be a cartoon artist or graphic designer. I use Posca markers.
Oh, fantastic.
Layla, there's a video on noses in the Art Hacks playlist.
I didn't like the center part.
Time Warrior says, can I ask advice on how do I make myself happier with my art and move it to being my purpose in life as it gives me hope?
I wish I could say for certain, because I think all artists are looking for that. We're all looking for the how do I enjoy my art? How do I feel good about my art? I think a lot of it comes with acceptance, to just be okay with where you are in your journey, and to stop comparing yourself to other artists. And I know we always do it, and I still do it. But I really think that there's a bit of maturity and just self-acceptance that you have to come to. It's a very personal thing to say, because there's a part of you that says, well, I don't want to fool myself into thinking that I'm good. I don't want to be self-delusional and say, oh, I'm actually really good at this, and and everybody else is laughing at me because I think I'm good and I'm really not. So there's that part of you that's going to say that. But then there's got to be that part of you that says, I don't have to be good. I just have to enjoy making art. And then there's the fact of, if you want to do it professionally and you want to make a living at it, then there's all of those factors get flipped upside down again, because now you're making a living based on what others think of your work. So if you're just doing it for yourself, then you're just going to have to learn to accept your work for where it is and just be happy in the fact of making art. If you're trying to do it professionally, then unfortunately you have to find a niche that other people like. Is it niche? I know I always ask that. Is it niche or niche? But you got to find a style and whatever that other people like. And that's a completely separate thing.
Would you get over writer's block the same way you get over art block?
I don't think so, no. For me, when I'm writing, I have to just keep writing words. And sometimes some of it's good, and then you save the good stuff and you rework the bad stuff. It's completely different. Writing and art are two completely separate things for me. So I'm trying to find the beauty in this hairline, and where this is gonna go. And it's always funny, you find a photo reference, you're like, oh, I like the facial expression, and you want to do something different with it, and you want to, I don't know, make this hair.
Maybe part of it needs to be up and part of it needs to be down.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out the...
Or maybe it needs to go the other way instead of up and down.
I don't mind this.
Good evening here in Pakistan. I'm doing a 30-day art challenge. Do you have any tips?
Pick something that you want to do. Like I did Harry Potter, I did the Lord of the Rings, those things are stuff that I know that there are at least 30 characters that I would want to draw, that kind of thing. And I think a lot of that is you have to think long term. You have to think there's going to be days where you just don't want to do it. So make sure that don't do all your favorite characters first. Spread them out.
Blake says, we think Scott should go full on Charles Dana Gibson on that hair.
Oh, it's funny. I will show you. Give me 1 second.
For those of you who don't know, Charles Dana Gibson did these beautiful portraits in the 40s?
Gosh, it was in the 20s.
And his women, his portraits of women who actually were his sisters, I think, and his wife, became known as the Gibson girls, and they all had a very stylized look, and they were absolutely lovely.
So Blick was having a sale on frames, and I bought some, and I framed the can you guys see it?
Yeah.
The Charles Dana Gibson page that I did during the 60 Days of Studying the Masters. And the thing is, the frame size is really small for the mat.
Yes.
And I just didn't have too many pieces that would fit it.
So we stuck it on top of the mat.
So I just stuck it on top of the mat and I just glued it. But yeah, I should really just do the whole Charles Stanley Gibson thing, because it is starting to have the feel. So if that's the case, then the hair's going to really kind of be up here, huh?
They did like the middle part. Scott's favorite book is The Hobbit. He'll use any pencil that's on the desk.
Yeah.
We've watched the first episode of Wednesday, but we didn't really keep going very much on that one. They're saying maybe you could add flair with bangs.
Yeah.
Ellen says the show was great. Still waiting for the final check from the sales, but my favorite part was interacting with people who enjoyed my work. Thanks for asking.
Oh, that's great.
I'm so glad. If you guys haven't seen some of Fiber and Brimstone's work, she's got this great Instagram that she's been posting all of the stuff on, and she just got to do her first art show, which was up in a coffee shop, and she does the most beautiful paintings of coffee shops and locales, and she just does beautiful stuff. I have one of her I have a couple of her pieces, but my favorite is a bookmark that she did that's flowers. It's really beautiful. You guys should check her out. It's fiberandbrimstone.com. She does beautiful things. Do we have a video on line weight?
We kind of have one on inking, which talks a little bit about line weight.
Okay, so check the Art Hacks playlist for that. They're saying a necklace would be really nice. Maybe something that's really overly embellished.
Okay.
Scott's favorite type of paint is watercolor from Winsor & Newton.
So you mean like something that is...
I think maybe big and chunky. Is that what you guys were thinking? Big and chunky? Like maybe an amulet or something? Maybe like a big collar with an amulet at the bottom. What do you really do for stress relief? Huh. He paces.
Yeah, I pace. I'll go out front and I will pace, or I will pace in the Hobbit hole.
Yeah, he's literally wearing out the floor down here.
Because I guess I'm stressed a lot.
Mm-hmm. Scott tried oil paint way back in high school. Bethany Primrose is our resident oil painter. And she's posting every week. So you can check that out. She's done some really great videos. Highly recommend. And I don't paint, and I watch them all anyway. So there you go. Please tell me how you're able to cope with autism. I am a young artist struggling with school, and drawing helps me. Do you have tips? That's Layla.
Well, yeah, just please remember that I didn't know I was autistic until a year ago. So I didn't cope with autism. I did very poorly in school. I had difficulty making friends, all of that stuff, because I was just told I wasn't trying hard enough. I was told I just needed to not be so lazy or stop complaining about whatever I was complaining about.
Or suck it up.
Yeah. So honestly, I don't really have tips from experience of success. My tips are, now that I know, these are the things that I do, and the things that I do is I tell people I am not comfortable with the situation, or I'm not. It's too loud here, or whatever, and I will do that, and it's tough, because you don't want to feel like you need special attention or anything. But I think I've lived my entire life having to just deal with it, and I'm kind of done with that. And so if something doesn't make me happy, if something is bothering me, then I'm going to remove myself from the situation.
Now, that being said, there are some situations that you can't remove yourself from.
Yeah.
So you have to learn how to cope.
But I would definitely say don't ever be afraid to say that you're autistic. Don't ever be afraid to say that a situation is overwhelming, or because you have sensory issues or whatever it might be. Don't be afraid to take care of yourself and be good to yourself, just to make other people not feel, whether you were, yeah. So you're allowed to be comfortable and happy in every situation. Again, it's not always gonna happen, but I think you're allowed to ask.
What U.S. president would you most likely paint the best? This person's a history buff. I think you'd do a really good Abraham Lincoln. He had a nice beard and he was very wrinkly.
I was thinking of Teddy Roosevelt with the glasses and the mustache and everything. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I will say this. I think the easiest one to draw would be Trump.
Oh God.
I mean, and again, you asked a non-political question, and so this is not a political answer, but I'm just saying he is a bit of a caricature. And so for ease, because they said which one would I do the best, I think if I had to pick one, he would be the easiest, I think, to draw, and people would know exactly who it is. I didn't vote for him. So again, this is not a political thing. I'm just simply saying for ease, that's who I think would be like...
Okay. Can you recommend any markers for pen art?
Yes, I like Art Beak.
How long did it take to make or set up the Hobbit hole? It's so detailed, yet you never show it off. Kind of weird. If I were to have a room like that, I would show it off to everybody I know.
Well, there is a video on it, but it's a... it took about, I would say, 6 months.
Yeah, it did. Okay, what is your favorite sketchbook?
The Be Creative watercolor sketchbook.
Have any of the people you've ever drawn commented or reached out to give their reaction? I feel like it would be cool to know, since I know you've reached out to me and it's always awesome.
Oh, yeah. I've had, let's see, Tears for Fears, Rosie O'Donnell, Cheech and Chong,
Disa.
Yeah, Disa from the actress who played Disa from darn it, what was it? Lord of the Rings, the TV series one. We had some of the actors and actresses from Ghosts when we did that video, and then Toby from The West Wing.
That's right.
Yeah, and then I had a couple of Hamilton people
follow you.
Yeah, follow me and like stuff. Usually, if I get a chance to, I will mail the art to the actors or musicians.
Jesper says, I love your videos and I'm from Denmark and you make me happy every day.
Oh, thank you.
You're so funny. I'm just a beginner artist. I've always wanted to draw webtoons. Now I'm starting to draw some, says Nelvin.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Scott, I adore your work. You're really amazing and awesome and you inspire me. That's Munchie.
Thank you very much, Munchie.
Yeah, Bethany really is a trooper. All of our mods are a trooper. They all are just wonderful and couldn't do this without them. Okay. Is it me or me or other also that Mr. Scott is cute? He is cute.
Well, thank you.
In my country, art can't be a profession, so what else can you do with your art skills? That's charm.
I would use them to journal. Keep a track of your life in the world and the places you go and the things you do.
Shadow says, I find it so amazing how quickly you do your work. Sometimes it takes me more than an hour to draw what I'm going to paint, mostly due to my perfectionism.
You know, I've had to learn to draw quicker because of these lives and because of the fact that I'm a content creator now, and I miss doing the larger paintings like what we did. You know, if you look at the art for the puzzles, those paintings took me a week or two. I spent many, many, many hours on those. I haven't been able to do that since I started creating content online. I have to work on paintings that I could do, in a day, usually 90 minutes. And so don't compare what I'm doing to what you're doing, because I'm doing mine specifically for content creation.
Mm-hmm. Which is a totally different animal.
It really is. And I miss creating bigger pieces that I could be proud of. And not that I'm not proud of some of these smaller things, but
the time limit is a constraint.
These are really geared to speed.
Mm-hmm. Abner says, add a necklace with a jewel, please. Also, Arwen was my favorite little pupper of the channel. So cute.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I'm missing her a lot this morning. She was my my little friend. I used to talk to her about everything. She'd never tell. Hadley says, hello, I'm traveling to Florida in a few days. and doing so, I'll be trapped in a car for 16 hours. What should I draw and or watercolor?
Gosh, I don't know how much you can watercolor or draw in a car. But I would take pictures of the world as you're kind of going out, and then draw when you get to your destination.
Raspberry says, hi, Scott. I'm currently working on a watercolor piece. I was inspired by you yesterday and surprisingly have the same paper. Love both you and Donna. Excited for the stream. Love from Nebraska.
Thank you.
Thank you, Scott, for that advice. I make because it helps, and thanks to infinity and beyond.
Oh.
Would you ever consider buying a new art bag?
You mean instead of the Swissmedic bag? Only if something happened to it, but I mean, it fits so perfectly. I don't think I would ever need to.
How many did you go through to find that bag?
Oh.
I remember quite a few.
Yeah, I would say probably
20?
30.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah. Just buy things, try them out, and then leave the tags on and return it if you don't like it.
Yeah. All right. So necklace, huh?
Have you tried the Tombow brush pens? If so, what did you think?
Are those Tombow next to you or the?
No, those are Pigma. Sakura Pigma.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I remember trying everything I could get my hands on, but I don't remember every one that I've tried.
We are not going to adopt a cat because I am allergic to cats. So, the way her hair is kind of pompous is giving me Founding Fathers, but make it a really cool woman vibes.
Yeah. Well, we did add a little Charles Dana Gibson, so.
When did you start drawing?
I started drawing around when I was 6 or 7, and there is a video on, like you can watch my art grow over 40 something years.
Tell the size of the paper again, please.
It is 10 by 25 centimeters or 3.9 by 9.8 inches. It's fairly small.
Let's see. What was the first expensive art supply you ever bought?
Gosh, trying to think of. The first thing that came to my mind was an airbrush and compressor. I got it for my graduation gift. I think it was from college, or
What was the most out of comfort zone art piece you made?
I think when people had asked me to do murals, I was working in acrylics and on a wall, and it really wasn't my thing.
And that answers another question. Have you done any murals? Who are your art idols and have you met any of them?
Oh, yeah. My art idols are Drew Struzan, who I have met, and let's see, the rest of them I haven't met, which was John Buscema, J.C. Leyendecker, Alphonse Mucha. I'm trying to think of other art idols I have met. I got to meet Greg Hildebrandt, and I got to work with him. And he was from the Hildebrandt brothers. They were twins. They did one of the original Star Wars posters, which was really cool. And trying to think of what else.
Nixie is here.
Hey, Nixia. I'm trying to think of other art idols I have met.
We'll move on.
Donna got to meet one of my art idols, which is Barry Windsor Smith. She got me some stuff signed, but
I did. Yes, the people with the blue wrenches are our mods. They're friends of ours, and they know the answers to the questions, and they are helping me so that everybody's questions can get answered. Have you done any art for Tears of the Kingdom?
No, not yet. I'm still playing it through, and I am enjoying it.
Abner says, I'm a young artist and I have a small case of ADHD, and I was wondering, do you have ADHD? Because sometimes I find it hard to concentrate on an art piece. And do you have any tips?
No, I don't. I got tested for it. It turns out I am autistic, but I do not have ADHD.
I would disagree with that assessment.
I know you would, but...
So would Bethany. We do not have prints of Theoden to buy. Let's see. Real Millipede says your art inspires them to keep drawing.
Oh, fantastic.
Pickled Lobster. I have ADHD and I have negative thoughts that tell me I'm dumb, which is partly true because I'm not very good at math or science. But with art, I don't have the negative thoughts for some reason.
Well, just because you have negative thoughts that say that you're dumb and you're not good at math and science doesn't make you dumb. I'm not good at math and science, and I'm not dumb. You're just not good at math and science. Dumb is, first of all, dumb is just a word you shouldn't be using. And just seriously,
not to yourself or anybody else.
Just don't use it. But honestly, you're human. Just remember that you're human, and we all have these thoughts. We all think these same things. There's nothing wrong with you. Just keep moving forward. Keep making art. Keep doing good stuff. A lot of the things that make me who I am is because I decided that's the kind of person that I wanted to be. We don't have to just follow our base instincts. We can decide we want to be better people. We can emulate other people, and choose to be better people. We can, if you wanted to learn math, you can learn math. I find no use in it whatsoever, but if that's something that really bothered you, you could sit down and you could do that. You could make that your passion. But if you like making art, make art. And but just in general, we all have those thoughts. We all have those invasive thoughts that tell us that we're not good enough, that we're not smart enough.
Every single day.
Every single day, you know. I'm 54. Donna's younger, and
I'm 53. They know how old I am.
We still get those thoughts every day. We still battle those thoughts every day. You're gonna be okay.
Like this morning.
Yeah. But you're, like I said, you're human, and that's okay. That's you know.
I don't think we've ever been to the Liu Gardens. What historical era is your favorite?
I don't really have a favorite. I think aesthetically, maybe the 1900s to 1920s.
Have you ever listened to the song 1916?
1916. Who's the musician?
I don't know. Laughingstock. Who's the musician? Veronica says, "Hey, you helped me to embrace my mistakes, not just in art, but in general. So thank you."
Oh, my pleasure.
Alexa says, Are you ever unmotivated to do the lives?
Every day.
Yep.
It is a challenge for me to put myself out there publicly. It does not come naturally, and but again, I'm pushing myself past what makes me comfortable, because it's making a little bit of a difference, and that makes me happy.
You can see Scott's thoughts on the stone paper in the videos on stone paper.
And there's a couple of them, yeah.
Yeah, that's on the products we've tried list. June wants to know if you're into any sports. They are really into volleyball right now.
Oh, I used to love volleyball. I used to do 2-man tournaments with my friend. That was really fun. I played all sports. My dad was a huge sports buff, and had me learn all of the sports. I've done everything. I think I enjoyed the most was hockey. I was a goalie.
Hold on a second. This person's question. Let's see. Okay, roles in the Discord are going to happen after the live because our mods in the Discord are also our mods here. So they can only do one thing at a time, and they're friends of ours, and we're not paying them. So they will give you a role in the Discord as soon as the live is over, or maybe within a few hours of the live being over, because everybody needs to eat and use the bathroom and all that kind of good stuff. So be patient and you will get a role. Can you do a big painting but break it into 2 streams? Just an idea. The art looks fantastic, by the way.
Thank you. I have done big paintings where I've broken them up into multiple streams. Yeah, I just, the thing is it's really not about the streams so much as it is about having content to create. I have to create at least 5 videos a week. To
it's a lot of work for him.
Yeah, and so I it's easier for me to just find little stuff to paint or draw or whatnot.
I watched Animal Crackers the other night. It's such a cute movie. Quite enjoyed the storyline. When did you create the Animal Crackers comic?
Thank you. I wrote the comic maybe in around 2009.
Let's see. Your shorts are great. You earned a new subscriber.
Oh, thank you.
You've mentioned having fun with hair, but when I try to ink it, it just looks like a mess. Any advice?
Yeah, there's some videos on it. I think 2 or 3 videos on hair. But you're always welcome to watch me during these lives. And but I am looking at the hair as kind of like ribbons, 3-dimensional things.
Have you ever had a teacher restrict you in order to expand your horizons? In high school, my AP art teacher said I couldn't draw elephants at all, and that year was one of the worst and most depressing I had.
That is very specific. You're not allowed to draw elephants. I think that's, yeah, I think art teachers are going to do that. I think every art teacher I had has told me, Scott, you're going to have to try this. And Scott, because all I wanted to do was draw my original character, my comic book character over and over and over again. And thankfully, they did restrict me, and because of that, I got to learn different techniques, and I got to try different things, and that's a good thing. So don't forget, you have time on your own outside of that 1-hour class to draw all of the elephants your heart's desire. Just take that 1-hour class to learn and see what it does for you.
What's your favorite Marvel movie?
Probably Winter Soldier.
All right, I'm going to blow through some of these. Scott went to Academy of Art in San Francisco. He likes watercolors. He has drawn dragons. You can find faces and all sorts of things that he has drawn in the Art Hacks playlist. Try drawing some animals for practice. Draw everything every day. Draw things around you. Judy says, I really want to go to art college. I want to go to Cal Arts, but it's so expensive. Any solutions? What college did you go to? We just talked about Academy of Art.
Yeah, I went to the Academy of Art, but
it is expensive.
Yeah, you do not need to go to an art college to become an artist. If you really like school, then I think, that's going to be great for you. But there are online classes if you can't afford something like a college.
Like specifically an art school. Alina has had art blocks since school ended and doesn't know what to draw. Can you give me some tips, maybe some about hair or landscape? Check the Art Hacks playlist for the tips on hair.
Yeah, but I mean, if you want to know what to do, there is actually there's a video in the Art Hacks playlist on photo reference. And there's some great free photo reference that might inspire you.
I'm going to take a note on the end of this and say, sometimes you just have to take a break. School is very intense. And maybe you need a couple weeks to just read a book or go outside or smell the flowers or give yourself a break before you try to get into something else. Is watercolor good for painting anime characters?
Yeah, I think so.
Ryan says, for people that don't think they are smart, I want to impart to you a perspective as an educator. We say it's not how smart you are, but rather how you are smart. We all excel in our own way. I love that. Let's see. I don't think Scott would ever do a flip art book. He has painted so many red pandas for me. What era do you think had the best hairstyles?
Gosh.
Don't look at me.
I mean, I think that kind of Victorian kind of thing is fun to draw. The Gibson Girls era, essentially.
Let's see. Scott's favorite animal is a cheetah. He's drawn Gandalf so many times. Scorch says, I love your art and your style is a huge inspiration to me, but it's very hard for me to get better at art because I am majorly colorblind, and that makes me think I will never be good at art.
No.
We just had this conversation a couple nights ago.
Yeah, with our son. You just see the world a little differently, and I think it's wonderful if you would be able to show the world how you see it. There's so many colorblind artists, and I'm sure you can look them up. But there are wonderful, wonderful ways that you can make art and incorporate your colorblindness.
How many post-it notes are around in the Hobbit hole? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 19, 20, 21, 22,
Just say a lot.
Probably 50 up with stuff written on them. Will you ever do a summer version with Octavia doing favorite summer things?
I don't know. I am a little burnt out right now. But
he's a lot burnt out right now.
Yeah, you wake up one day and you're like, I think I'll do this. And I mean, that's how the October thing kind of came around. So,
hi, Santa. Good morning.
Hey, Santa. I hope you had a good time in Seattle.
Do you erase the pencil sketch when painting? And if so, do you do it before or after painting?
I do it before painting because once it's painted, you can't erase it. But as soon as I'm done inking, I'll take a kneaded eraser and erase over it.
Did you just Google to get the photo reference?
No, this was actually one of the photo references that I paid for. If you watch that video that I mentioned earlier, there are free photo references, and then there is photo reference that you could pay for.
Okay. What's your favorite Lord of the Rings movie?
Oh, I guess the Fellowship.
Applying to art school and they want a self-portrait out of watercolor and a still art out of pencil. Got any tips?
Make a self-portrait out of watercolor and a still art out of pencil. Follow the directions exactly.
Scott does not want to make art out of art supplies that he hates. These people want chaos. The pen he's using right now is a zebra brush pen. You can find them at Jet Pens or Blick. I think also Amazon has them for those of you who are all around the world and can't find them. So it's Arches paper, a Faber-Castell 4H pencil, and a zebra brush pen. That is where we are right now. We are on the zebra brush pen. What is your comfort subject? What's something you could draw quickly whenever, wherever?
Probably eyes, hair.
Brett says, hello, first time seeing the stream. I have been following for a while now, and I wanted to say you've inspired me to draw again. I'm not the best, but I do enjoy the practice.
Oh, thank you. It's very nice to meet you.
The zebra brush pens cost a different price in different countries, so you just have to check with your local supplier or your online supplier that you can get there and find out. But we pay about $2.60 for them. Can you do a tutorial on how to layer watercolors?
I do have a few. And you're always going to want to go lightest colors to darkest colors.
Check out the video where Scott drawing different styles. My art is a mosaic. It's in the Art Hacks playlist. What's your opinion on digital art?
I think it's wonderful.
My favorite thing to bake for Scott is cupcakes because he can't control himself, and it makes me happy that he just gobbles up everything I bake. And my favorite thing to bake for myself, I have this great sugar cookie recipe that I love, but I don't bake them often.
You got those scones with the strawberry jam.
Yeah, but my favorite thing that I bake is the sugar cookies. What does your recording setup look like?
Just I have a couple of adjustable arms that hold up the cameras, and I've got one that I've got the webcam which you guys are looking through for the YouTube channel, and that is on a tripod that's on the ground.
As an autistic artist, do you also feel that making art is a way to communicate to people like I do?
Yeah, I think so. I unfortunately don't find that I convey much meaning in my art. I think for me, making art is a way for me to kind of capture the world around me or capture the beauty. I feel like I'm collecting the world in little bits and pieces.
Ryan says, I will say as an art teacher, I will never prevent someone from drawing elephants, but I will push you to try mediums and techniques you are uncomfortable with in order to stretch your abilities.
Yeah, see, that's a nice thing.
Saroja is planning to start another 30-day challenge, Birds Around Me.
Oh, that's great.
Raquel wants to know how to paint or draw dinosaurs.
Oh, I would. Dinosaurs are tough because obviously there's no photo reference, but we went to the Dino Trek at the zoo, and that was really fun.
The National Flower Series. I want to see the National Flower Series. We did the National Animals, and there were flowers in that. So you can check that out there. He does not enjoy painting flowers. Bethany is correct. How long does it take you to go through your various art supplies? I want to invest in some more expensive items, but I want to know how long they will last me.
Oh, gosh. I'll have a $6 tube of paint will last me at least a year, if not more. The paints last a long time. The pens are the things I go through the most.
How much time did you and your son spend working on Esmeralda?
Hold on a second. Sorry. We've had her for almost 6 years. So, but I don't think we've calculated the hours. But it's
many hours.
Yeah, but I mean, it's a lot less now.
Well, now that she's running.
Yeah, she's doing great, and we don't spend too much time with her now.
And Ken, we are not eye doctors, so we cannot tell you why that happens. I would talk to your eye doctor and ask them why that happens. They would be able to tell you definitively. Lots of people are here for the first time.
Oh, well, welcome. So the one thing I am having a problem with this Arches papers is it's so bumpy. And so my lines, I don't know if you can see it, but the lines aren't as crisp because of the bumpiness of the paper. And that's why I prefer the Be Creative over the Arches, is the texture.
But isn't the Be Creative also a textured paper?
Just less.
Less textured.
Yeah, less textured. It's just
enough to hold the watercolor, but not.
It's like the perfect amount. Yeah. It's not hot press smooth. It's got a little bit of texture, but it is just. I really like it.
What's the type of art you would like to start? Not necessarily a medium, but maybe a focus of the painting.
I'd like to do more Pre-Raphaelite kind of work, and I definitely would like to start. I'd like to try incorporating sculpture, like maybe reliefs or something.
What's your favorite song?
Future Love Paradise by Seal.
Several people have said that they like your bracelets.
Oh, thank you.
They want to see the reference photo, and they want your opinion on digital art.
I think digital art is peachy keen, and this is the reference photo.
Oh, Steph Nerd, you've never had or made a crumb cake? I'll make you a crumb cake when you're here. You have to have the crumb cake. It's so good. Scott's grandmother's recipe. It's so good. Witchcraft says, I love your art and your videos. They are such an inspiration to everyone. Keep doing what you're doing. You too, Donna.
Thank you.
You're sweet. Ryan says, okay, teacher time. I'll try to check the Discord for roles later. Have a great day, all.
Bye.
Bye, Ryan. Have a good day. Every video, Starks, you will see Scott layering watercolors. And if you stick around long enough, he will hopefully get to the watercolor portion today, and you'll be able to see him.
I know a lot of you have been asking to see the drawing process, so I've been trying to include the drawing process. The problem is, even with a piece this small,
it makes it longer.
It is, this is why lots of times I will spend the extra 20 minutes beforehand to get the pencils lined up, so that way I can get the inks and the watercolors done in time.
Let's see. Okay, guys. So please don't ask again if you're going to be able to get a role in the Discord right now. The mods are helping me answer all of your questions, and you have to agree to the rules. And then when they get there, they will let you in. But that is not right now. That is not in the next hour. So please be patient. They will get there, and you will get a role, and you will get to come into the Discord. Okay?
All right, so now I'm going to use my kneaded eraser.
A crumb cake is like a coffee cake. It's like, it's very plain, but it has like cinnamon and sugar on top. It's really good. Now I want to make crumb cake. Anyway, it's great with a cup of coffee or a cup of tea. The pen that Scott's using is a zebra brush pen. It is waterproof, so he is able to erase it right away and then put the watercolors right over it. And you need to, if you could move that over, because the camera is in the we're seeing the camera.
Yeah,
there you go. Perfect. Okay. We've never been to Lebanon, but when we can get out in the world, we will be doing that. Do you enjoy creating charcoal drawings?
I did like doing it when I was doing figure drawing classes in college, but that was 30 years ago.
Neither one of us like pineapple on a pizza. It's heresy. Do you know of any training to improve line art?
Practice. I don't know of any. I had to just practice till I figured it out. But my teachers kept yelling at me because I didn't know line art or line weight. And it took me years, decades to figure it out.
Gosh, they want tips on shading, tips on drawing. Lots of tips. Check the Art Hacks playlist. That's going to be the best place to start. And then if you have specific questions, we can answer those.
Can you guys see the paint?
Yes. It would be easier, though, if you could move the painting over a little bit towards the door. There you go. Thank you. That would be good. Just so we don't get the painting in there. Underneath the other thing. How much money do you spend on sketchbooks?
They're about $14 a piece. Mm-hmm. And I don't, a sketchbook could last me a year. Unless I'm doing like a 30-day challenge or something like that. But for the most part, I think I spend more money on stuff like this. Like this on a pad. What is it?
A block.
Artist block. Watercolor block.
Mm-hmm. Have you drawn artists in the circus live?
Artists in the circus?
Live.
No, I don't know any artists in the circus.
How did you decide to start on YouTube?
It was my friend Dan Povenmire who recommended that I try it. We were both on TikTok, and he said that he heard that it was a better place to go, and so I did, and I really like it.
Santa says Scott is to cupcakes is what Santa is to cookies. Oh, gosh. Blick, I'm going to let you take what are the best art materials for beginners, because Blick has some great options on that one. Scott's drawn Doctor Who characters. We have switched places for the day. I have tried Indian food. Scott has some allergic reactions to things, so he's got to be careful. Thank you for inspiring me and my 4-year-old granddaughter. We watch you together every week. I just started a 100-day face challenge. That's Tabby.
Oh, that's great.
I'm also autistic, and your videos have helped me with my mental health, seeing someone I can relate to. You've inspired me to start drawing, which has really helped me with my burnout and stress.
Oh, wonderful.
Dino Trek is still going on. It'll be there till the middle of June.
Blow dryer.
How do you feel about dyed hair? If you had to dye your hair, what color would you do?
If I had hair, I might dye it. But yes, and I think it's wonderful. I think dyed hair is cool.
I am going to go out on a limb and say I have dyed my hair purple, and I loved it. And I'm about to do it another color, but I'm not going to tell you what it is. Do you know of any training to improve line art? My hands shake so much.
Oh, I don't know about training to improve line art, but for shaking hands, at least what works for me, not that my hands shake a lot, but is to just rest it. Like you see, I'm resting my hand.
What's another way to dry watercolors quickly without a hairdryer?
Move to the desert, maybe. It might dry a little quicker.
Put it in the sunshine?
Yeah.
Paint outside in the sunshine?
It just, the water needs to evaporate and leave the pigment. So the only way I know to do it is to heat it.
Does the paper tear when too much water is put on it?
No, not this paper.
This is very, very, very thick paper. How do you feel about tattoos?
I think they look good on everybody but me.
Scott is not reading the chat. I'm reading the chat to him because he can't paint and do this at the same time because there's so many of you here. So I help him out. Would you ever draw Frank Sinatra for Music Monday?
I might.
Have you ever done Procreate?
When it first came out, I tried it. But I tried to use it again, and my iPad is just not strong enough.
Blick says, a crumb cake is like if your mom's couch was a dessert in the best possible way. Oh my God. Megan says crumb or coffee cake is amazing. You don't have to have a specific beverage. It's always good. I would disagree. I would say you should always have a cup of tea with a very large slice of crumb cake. It's true. There is nothing I would not have with tea. Oh, look, we're barbecuing a steak. Let me make a cup of tea. Oh, look, I'm having a banana. Let me have a cup of tea. Want to have a sandwich? Let's make some tea. Are you looking forward to anything this summer, Scott?
No. My life is meaningless and I have nothing to look forward to.
Ouch.
I'm just
God, that was brutal.
being silly.
Which app do you use to edit videos?
Adobe Premiere.
Do you ever sculpt things out of kneaded erasers for fun?
Yeah, it is fun.
Can you just give some advice on materials from Amazon?
I have links to my art supplies and art supplies I've tried, and when they have them on Amazon, there's links to them as well as Blick. Blow dryer.
All right, working on practicing my faces. Any tips on doing dark hair mixed with shadow via colored pencils?
Oof. For me, it's always the photo reference is what I'm going to reference. And you're just going to come in with the highlights at the end. Do all of your shadows, do all of your darkest parts first, and then come in with the highlights at the end.
Have you ever used Bristol board, and do you like it? I started using it after seeing this other person's pencil drawings, but I can't get the hang of using it for anything other than graphite.
I use Bristol board for colored pencils, and it's one of my favorite mediums for colored pencils and markers.
So I'm going to just, everybody on here, if you have specific questions on paper and things, since Blick is here, I'm going to ask Blick to give us a rundown of a low quality paper, a medium quality paper, and high quality paper for color pencils and watercolor, if you have time. Have you ever used a nib pen?
I think I tried them once in high school.
Did you like it?
I don't think I did, no.
Why didn't you like it?
Because I had to keep dipping it. I don't like the extra work that some of these things make you do.
Nixia, I will take all the pineapple for the pizza. I will give you all my pineapple for the pizza. I will sit next to you. We will hold hands.
Blow dryer.
And I will hand you the pineapple. All right. Right now, Scott is using the Winsor & Newton watercolors. There is a video on finding your drawing style. What's it called?
My artism. There's ones on inspiration, and there's ones on my art as a mosaic, and I think she needs freckles.
His least favorite art medium would be oil pastels right now.
Blow dryer. Getting freckles.
Do you know how to change your art style and how to reach your art goals?
Yes. You're going to pick a Other artists that you like their style. It could be a whole movement or it could be a specific artist. And then you're going to start copying their work. And then you're going to start making your own work, but adding a little bit of their work to yours. That's how I did it.
Do you live today exclusively with your art/influencer job?
Currently, yeah. We were still getting some work. I was getting some work doing animation, writing and directing, and it kind of dried up. So this is currently my day job.
What colors do you recommend for skin tones?
As you can see, you can use any colors, but if you're trying to do like a Caucasian, there's a video on it, and then I also have African American or darker skin if you want to, as well in that video too.
Random Stuff says, hi, I'm Nandini from India, and I'm an absolutely huge fan of yours, but I just have a question. How do you get inspiration on what to draw?
It's tough because I'm drawing something every day, but I would say that there's no single answer that's going to say do this and it's always going to work. It just doesn't seem to work that way. So I would say just try to draw something every day, even if it's not inspiring to you. Just try to keep drawing. And that's what I'm doing. Like, I just found a photo and I said, I am not going to use traditional skin colors. I'm going to make them a fairy. I'm going to, that's essentially what I'm doing. It's tough. I've done over 1,000 drawings and paintings in the last few years since I started doing all of this, and I'm running out of steam. You're not alone. You're not alone.
Steph Nerd says that she's going to need Blick to explain her baked goods from now on. Sky uses the Winsor & Newton paints. Several people are freaking out that you know Dan Povenmire.
Yeah, Dan's a great guy. Incredibly talented, really funny. And he wrote a song for our movie. If you watch Animal Crackers, there's a song called It Could Have Been Mine, It Should Have Been Mine. Mm-hmm. And it's a duet with Gilbert Gottfried and Ian McKellen. Mm-hmm. And Dan wrote that.
Scott's favorite art medium is watercolor. What color are you going to do the hair? They want to know.
I'm thinking turquoise.
Tea goes with everything, including strawberries. It will go with strawberries.
I'm going to do this juniper green.
Oh my God. Why are you shaking it over the painting?
You guys could see it.
No, you're giving me PTSD. Stop. Oh, man. It's going to go crazy. I know it is. Do you want me to wash that out?
No, it's fine.
Are you sure? Nicole says, aloha, lovely mods. And Donna, my tea is green with rice. Is yours as nice? Coffee accepted too. Can you shove some Kona coffee through the thing? The YouTubes? Shove some Kona coffee through the YouTubes. I love that stuff. We do have stickers of our work on CrowdMade, and if one of the mods can put the link in, that would be great. Scott does not have pottery. Megan, they do make caffeine-free tea, so you can try that. How long have you been painting?
Oh, I picked up watercolors maybe 2009, 2010.
Pony Feather says, I love the travel videos, working on my own plein air setup. Favorite place to paint on the go?
Disney World, Epcot.
Tea is the best thing in the world besides art and nature. I would disagree and say tea is the best thing in the world. Period. Do you have any book recommendations? Not right now, no.
There are, well, if you're looking for art book recommendations, there are some on the site.
Yeah. But as far as reading, I have not been able to pick up a book in a few weeks. So no, I don't have any good recommendations. I would do some classics. Do you enjoy playing with different mediums, or is there one you like in particular?
I like watercolors, but I get bored. So yeah, I'll switch to pencil. I'll switch to gouache, things like that.
I love Blick's response. For beginners, 50-pound bond paper, lots of it, B-range pencils, kneaded eraser, Bristol board, set of watercolor cakes, gouache in tubes, several round brushes, drawing board with clips, and pigmented black pens. That's a nice list. I like it. Have you done sculpture before?
No, not seriously.
A lot of people want to know how you know what colors to layer for skin tones and how do you know where to add shadows and highlights.
Well, I'm looking at the photo reference for the shadows and highlights. Otherwise, I would just imagine where the light is and figure out based on my experience and where the shadows would be. But it is, the colors are, I don't know if you guys recall, but lots of times I will say, oh, I don't like that color, and then I'll get rid of it or paint over it or whatnot. I don't know what colors are going to work. I have a hunch of what colors I'd like to try, and then I tried them, and sometimes I like it and sometimes I don't. Like, it's perfectly reasonable for me to say, I don't like this blue, and I want to change it, and I could if I wanted to. But yeah, I just go for it.
Scott right now is using the Arches paper. He's using 300 GSM, 140-pound Arches, 100% cotton paper. Which paper is low quality?
I would say the lowest quality I would go would be like a Canson XL.
A lot of people are questioning the blow dryer. The only reason Scott's using the blow dryer, guys, is because he needs to do this quickly. Well, actually, that's not true. He doesn't have a lot of patience. So he uses a blow dryer to dry the layers in between so that you guys don't have to sit here and literally watch paint dry.
Yeah, you guys don't want to watch paint dry.
The sticker on the blow dryer says blow dryer. That is a crowd-made sticker, and you can find that on our crowd-made thing. If you go to our store, there's a link to the crowd-made there. You can see that.
So, I like the concentrated watercolors. These are the Doc Martens concentrated watercolors.
Please tell me that lid's screwed on tight.
Should be. They're very saturated, which I like. The downside, of course, is that they will bleed the minute any kind of water comes in contact with it. They're very super concentrated. So I don't know how the background is gonna look. It might pick up the blue. Now, one way to stop that is to use a darker color for the background, but I'm not sure I want to do that. But
or masking fluid if you wanted to do that.
Yeah, that would be a lot of work, but
Amelia, I don't know what you're asking when you say where do you get your studying the masters. We have some paintings for sale in the store.
If you want to watch the Studying the Masters,
yeah,
there is a playlist.
You can check that out. I started a travel page in my sketchbook at a holy spot called Harissa in Lebanon, and Friday I have a school trip, so I'm going to do another page at Brit Edine.
That's great.
That is Mark. That's exciting. You can't turn off slow mode. We have slow mode on our end, so and we have that on because it keeps the spammers away and it lets us answer the questions easier.
Of course, I need just a little more for the lips.
Have you drawn any members of Guns N' Roses?
I have not.
Do the concentrated watercolors stain more than the regular ones?
I think so. I mean,
they stain the floor, I'll tell you that much. We still haven't gotten that.
No, that's ink. That was ink.
Everything stains if it gets on there in a big enough quantity. Have you heard Octopus's Garden by the Beatles?
Oh, yeah. It's a great song.
It's Riza's favorite song. What is your opinion on watercolor pencils if you have used them?
My opinion on watercolor pencils is that it's a step more than I would need to use. You wind up drawing, and then you wind up adding water, and then you wind up painting, and all of your drawing goes away. So I just find it a...
Does the paint you use look noticeably different if you air dry versus blow dry? That's a good question.
No.
How do you like making digital art?
I didn't really like it that much.
Blick has a question for you. How did working with process colors for publishing influence your use of color in artistic painting for originals versus reproduction? Great question.
Let me see if I understand the question. Process colors for printing?
Publishing. Influence your use of color in artistic painting for originals versus reproduction.
I never made art with any publishing or printing limitations in mind. I always just made art, and like when I did Star Trek covers, sometimes they would come out darker, sometimes they would come out lighter, sometimes they would look muddy, and
whenever we have control of the production process, so if we're paying for the publishing, Scott always gets proofs of everything, and he makes sure to say, I need this lighter, I need this more saturated.
Yeah.
You always do that. So he's always proofing it.
That was always the thing with doing art that was going to get published, is you never knew how it was going to be reproduced, how it was going to be scanned. When I remember I did Star Trek Voyager cover for Marvel, and I did it huge, like 30 by 40.
Yeah.
And it got ruined in shipping. And fortunately it got ruined in shipping on the way back. So in other words, they got to use it, but there was always an issue, always here's my painting, I don't know what it's going to look like. Now, I'm sure that there are a ton of professional artists who knew how to work within those limitations. I never did.
Also, I think don't you think it makes a difference how they scan it too? We have a company here in Nashville that scans everything for us. If we're going to do printing or any kind of publishing, they do incredibly high resolution scans, and they scanned your Animal Crackers poster.
Yeah.
We scanned them because they're larger. We have a small scanner here that will scan things nicely, but for really, really important things, we do send it out. Have you ever thought about doing an art book?
I've thought about it, but I mean, my art is so all over the place, I don't even know what it would look like.
My favorite is black tea. Scott, what do you do with the cakes up parts of the paint in the palette?
Cakes up parts of the paint.
The little globs of paint that are on their palette over there.
I add water to them, and then they become paint again.
I like peppermint tea. It's good.
So I went with the darker color, so that way the teal that is going to bleed will get hidden. It'll get lost in the purple.
Has there ever been a piece of art that you hated so much and wanted to throw it away, but you kept it to see your growth?
No. That's why I like sketchbooks, is because sketchbooks, it's hard to rip a piece out and throw it away. And so I think that's always been good to look back and see growth. But No, it's if I'm doing a piece and I don't like it, I just throw it away. The only time there's something that goes to the corner of shame is because I like 50% or more of it.
And
And
then
I
it
think,
sits there and he never touches
yeah, I
it
think
again.
well, maybe I can salvage it later.
But
I
he
never
never
do.
touches it again. Yes, Animal Crackers is family friendly. There is a little scary portion at the end, but it's
Dramatic scary.
Yeah,
not
not bad scary.
Yeah.
Dramatic scary. Yeah. What was your first ever art supply brand that you used?
I would say probably Prismacolor. It was yeah, Prismacolor was probably the first one where I was like looking for the brand.
The white thing that he uses for outlining is the Uniball Signo pen. What colors do you recommend for skin tones?
There's a video on it, but it's Windsor Orange and Rose Madder and Windsor Violet. And then again, that's for Caucasian skin. And then I'll add burnt sienna to get more of a darker skin.
I have tried chai, like the original version of chai, and it was very good. It's not my favorite. My favorite is just plain black tea. Donna, it does not do art. I journal, but I don't do art.
So can you guys see the blue bleeding into the purple where I went a little lighter?
Yeah, we can.
So again, I would not normally have done the hair first. If I'm going to use the concentrated watercolors, I'll always do that last because they will just bleed as soon as any other water touches it.
They want to know what is relaxing and therapeutic for you, because obviously painting right now is a job. So. He doesn't have anything right now.
Yeah, I really don't.
We've been asking him to get a hobby, but he hasn't.
Art used to be the thing that made me happy. And it is tough when you're doing it as your job.
Hey, Scott, absolutely love your hair work. Here's a question. How can I get started as a fantasy artist?
Get good at drawing, because you're going to have to draw stuff that doesn't exist in the real world. So get good at drawing. Draw everything every day. And then find artists that you really like and copy their style. Copy little bits about what is it about their art that makes you happy. Add that to your style. Let's see what else.
I don't know.
Yeah, I would say that. Get good at architecture too, because you're going to be creating architecture as well.
Would you say watercolor is one of the most challenging mediums in art?
No. The thing about watercolor is you have to let go. You have to say, you know what, watercolor is going to do what it's going to do, and you got to be okay with it. So if you're a perfectionist, if you're a control freak, it is probably not the medium for you.
I have never tried Thai tea, and I don't want to try bubble tea. It just doesn't appeal to me at all.
You know what? I will finish this later because it is.
Oh, it's after 10:30 already.
Yeah, it's after 10. So,
can you show the photo reference one more time?
Yeah, let me.
And then we'll be done.
I'm gonna add some just kind of layers of dark and lights.
This is the Arches paper that he's using. It's 100% cotton paper. If you go to my channel, you can see journaling stuff there. I talk about washi tape. I talk about the pens that I use. I talk about a few other things there about journaling, so you can check that out.
Here is the photo reference. You guys see it okay?
Uh-huh. Scott gets frustrated with his art every single day.
So I still got to come in with the highlights.
What color will the necklace be?
I think I might go with a gold. I like to keep the colors to just a few colors. So this is pink, teal, and purple. But I unless I make the necklace teal and then the center part little purple, I could do that.
Blick says, Scott, find a hobby. You have to devote time to yourself just for self-care, calm, and sanity. No pressure, though.
Yeah, I miss doing larger paintings, like stuff like this, where I would, work on it for a week or so, and then I would listen to audiobooks and just come downstairs and paint.
Yeah,
I
for
miss
hours
that.
You would
but
do it.
I just don't have that luxury to do that. And, when you're making art every day, you really don't make more art to relax.
Yeah.
So that's the current problem. But hey, there's worse things, right? I get to do what I love.
All right, so we're going to end the stream. We go live Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 9 a.m. Central
Time. And remember,
Time.
I'm going to go live tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. So it's 2 hours earlier than normal with Kim Diaz home, and we're going to do ink monsters, and I will probably make more ugly ink monsters again.
All right, and on that note, we will see you guys, I guess Scott will see you guys tomorrow.